Get there. So today I'm gonna take you through a journey. We're gonna get there. We're gonna go somewhere. So you guys ready? So let me just tell you a little bit about me. I am O.D. Harris, the Honorable O.D. Harris. I am an accountant for the longest time. I built my business from the bottom. I started out in my home. I successfully was able to move into a 75 square foot space where it was really small. And when people will come, they will have to get up so I can close the door so they can be in the space with me. I'm an accountant. And so I was able to successfully grow that into 35 locations in 7 states and 40,000 clients. So I've been able to have a lot of good success. I went to school. I went to Michigan State University where I learned how to do what I do. And I'm currently in school right now because I'm working on getting my doctor's degree. I have no reason why I want to get that degree, but I am thinking about every reason now why I need to have it. And also, I happen to be blessed. I am an elected official. I'm the councilman for the city of Chandler. Yes, Chandler. I am the third African-American man to be elected in Chandler in 109 years. It's been about almost 20 years since an African-American man have sat on council. So the changes are happening. And historically, from a national perspective, I'm one of less than 20 African-Americans in the whole nation that has ever been elected by a district that's 70% white. So the messaging, yes, to God be the glory. Can he do it? Can he do it? And so he put you in a situation where you know, like, Lord, you know that was you. You know you bad. But and so it goes back to what Pastor was saying is like, hey, you got to manage what he gives you. And I've taken the knowledge that he's given me and I built on that. And I am here today. I'm very proud. And also I'll just say this too, to the pastors of this wonderful house, the angel of this house. I just want to give them a big old hand clap. Pastor and pastor. I don't know. Pastor. Do I call pastor and pastor? We're just going to go pastor and pastor. You all have been the most wonderful people I've had the honor to get to know over these years before I was a councilman, before I got to where I am, before I arrived. And I will say that you guys have been one of those people that I definitely know have been praying for me, has been a big push for me. And I honestly say that, you know, it takes good people like you to help people like me go where you're not selfish with what you have, but you're trying to build leaders to go a little bit further. That's what you've been doing for me, and I appreciate you all very much so. If I had a seed, I would give you some money right now, but I'm going to give you what I'm going to give you today. But I just honor you all and your family. It's great gene, great stock, you know, and thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, without further ado, we're going to talk about this thing called finances. But before I get going, I want to make sure you guys get my book. It's called Quantum Leap of Theory. I actually have some copies. It's going to be $20 today. If you can bless a brother, that will help. It on Amazon is $10. Today is $20 because you're sewing into the man, not just the book. And I need that support because I do have a wife. I do have a family. I just got married just over a year ago, and she's been amazing. Yep. So she sent me a text message saying, I'm not feeling well. I said, baby, go to the hospital. I'm praying for you, okay? Because sometimes as a husband, you got to know, I can't do nothing, but I'm praying for you, you know? But I think the most interesting thing about being married is learning how to work together and learning your lane. I mean, because sometimes you're in everyone's lane like, get out my lane. You know, but I'm learning how to partner with her, and I'm learning how to walk with her. You know, many people say behind every great man there's a great woman. I like to say beside. You know, I like that word beside because she knows I'm not on the journey by myself, and I know I'm not on the journey by myself, but we're on this journey together trying to move each other forward. And COVID has been crazy. You need somebody in that house. Or the devil put somebody in there for you. Be like, Lord, how'd I get here? But I'm thankful to her. I honor her. I know she's watching and hanging out with us today. So without further ado, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about finances. Now, how many here are homeowners? All right, good. Yes. And so Was it easy, hard? Wasn't it a struggle to kind of, purchase a home? They got a lot of paperwork. Oh, you got to have this W-2 if you're a small business. You got to have your own bank account. They put you through a lot of stuff, don't they? Well, that's how it is in finances. Like, you got to go through a lot. And if your family didn't own a house, that's even worse sometimes. But if your family did own a home and they didn't pass down that knowledge of what you need to be doing, that can be a challenge, a jump. And so there's these gaps that happens all the time. And so what I'm going to try to do is close the gap. We're going to get down to the root of the problem. Say, get down to the root of the problem. All right, so I'm pretty animated, but never mind me. Just remember what I'm saying to you. You can write notes. If you get happy, jump, clap, yell at me, scream at me. I promise you won't take me off track. I might even preach on what you're saying, okay? I'm a talker. I like to talk, but I like to explain and help you get there, okay? So today you're going to go a little bit further. This is 2022. That means everything is popping off this year, okay? We want your finance to be popping off. We want your wealth to be popping off. And we're going to teach you how to use the system that was designed for you. I may give you some scriptures, but I also want you to understand the way this system is designed often is within the Bible, but the language may be a little bit different. How we get there, the methodology may be different. Just like the Bible says we shouldn't be in debt. Y'all hear that all the time, right? You're like, oh, I got to pay off my house. I'm going to pay off my mortgage. I'm getting rid of my credit card. Snip, snip, snip. And then when you go purchase something, you can't get nothing. But you've been taught to burn the mortgage, to do this and do that. And I'm going to give you a new different. And if pastor don't like what I'm saying, just come grab the mic, pastor, okay? I'm just trying to help. It's my floor. You got me? All right, you going to bear with me? Okay, all right. Y'all heard what he said, okay? I'm a professional. I've been doing this for 20 years now. And yes, I am very well endowed with the Bible. I was ordained to be a pastor a long time ago, and we've been building on that thing, okay? So just go with me. This is not for the people who wants their mind to stay the same. It's for the people who wants a better understanding, okay? You ready? All right, put your hands together. Let's clap. So the interesting thing, I'm going to take this mic with me since I don't got my little pale mic, The interesting thing is that why do black folks buy Gucci, Louis, all that stuff? I mean, I'm on Polo. I got Polo right now on. I got some Gucci shoes on. Why do we do that? Name brand, name recognition, status, okay. We want a certain image. We got it going on. Quality, yeah, sometimes quality, sometimes. Peer pressure, yes, yeah, absolutely. I got a lot of shoes. We got a lot of status because we want to walk. We want to show up like we somebody. I'm important. Look what I got on. I got a Gucci on. I got Polo on. Look at me. And then you get in a hoopty and you ride away because you parking your hoopty down the block, around the corner. I'm waiting for my Ubers. Come and lift. Where you at? They haven't got here yet. And we know you ain't balling because you pull up in the lowest class Uber there is, okay? You're not pulling up in the black car. You pulling up in the economy car. Come on, somebody. Can I keep it real? It's the stuff that we do. It just don't make any sense. Tell your neighbor it don't make any sense. But we do that all the time because we're trying to impress. We're trying to build up. And some people may say, hey, I'm doing this because I just really want to have something I never had before. And that's fine. But I'm hoping today that we can get a little bit better. And so since we've been talking about management, Pastor don't preach and talked about management all the day long. So I'm going to talk about management. I may not give hardly any scriptures. I might give a few every now and again, all right? Y'all ready to do this? Let's do this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is money habits, okay? Money habits. Everybody write that down. Money habits. I did it on a brick because I thought it was important because this is your foundation. Everything that you've been taught about money you've already been taught it. So now I got to break your foundation a little bit. Now, some of you guys are very talented and skilled, and you've been doing this for a long time. And you may even look at me and say, I don't know. He looks so young. You know what I'm saying? Some of you out there that's watching right now may say, he looks so young. There's no way. And sometimes we confuse wisdom with age. Because I know a lot of old people that ain't taking their medicine. Leave me alone. I'm not taking none of my medicine. Take your medicine. Come on. I ain't taking it. I ain't going to the hospital. Am I right? Is that not what they say? Is that wisdom? Thank you. So that means that wisdom don't always proceed with age. I'm sorry, I may be crossing over somebody, touching, because we're so used to, as parents, we so used to telling, this is what it's supposed to be. This has got to be, this and that. And we sometimes don't have our own wisdom. And then when our child get older, they start teaching us. And we're so arrogant with it. We're like, no, shut up. I'm grown. I'm your mama. I'm your daddy. That's what they do, right? And then say another word. I'll come over this. That's what they do. That's how I was taught. And then if you said something, you're going to get the beat down. Why do we beat our kids anyways, So very old mentality. We learned that from slave masters. But I will tell you that these black kids are very respectful when they're in school. I work with them every single day. I say, y'all parents been beating the heavens into you. Okay? Very respectful. So money habits. We talked about how the Bible tells you to give a tithe. The first tithe was of land. Okay? We talked about the tithe of time. And that's important. But with money habits, what we have to do is be able to take the foundation of what we have and say, are we going to save this thing? Or are we going to spend it? It's discipline. So money habit must be consistent with discipline. Because the bottom line is that it's so easy to spend. And you can get money. And guess what? Every single day, someone is promoting something for you to buy. Every single day. So you got to stop going to the store and shopping and say, okay, I'm not going to go and Christmas shop. Oh, let's talk about Christmas. Oh, my God, this is a really good, bad money habit we have. I'm going to the store and I'm going to outdo all the dudes because I'm going to buy my wife a 5-carat ring. I'm going to buy her this. I'm going to buy her that. And that's going to make her happy. Yes, I'm going to do that, right? I'm going to go buy my kids the PlayStation 5 and I'm going to buy them all these different things because that's going to make them happy, right? Why are you going broke? Trying to make them happy. And you need to be learning how to put your money to the side and save it. Because there's more generational wealth in owning your own home than buying back then it was Sega Genesis. I don't know if anyone remember Sega Genesis, Ataris. All right, we got some people. We got some 80 babies in the house. We got some 70 babies, in the house. Okay, so, but the older generation, they didn't have a lot of that game. They had to play marbles. They had to play craps. You know what I'm saying? They had the imagination. They had to do it with this is a new game. We're about to learn how to play. What's the rules? I'm about to tell you the rules of the new game that we just created. And so what has happened is that we have gotten ourselves away from good habits. We have to make sure we stay disciplined with our habits and making sure that we don't have bad habits. I can honestly tell you when I made my first $100,000 in business, $100,000 in business. And I was so happy. I spent all that money that same year, man. I got a ball cap. I had my J's. I had Jordans. I don't know what you guys, I think the kids now is like Vans and stuff like that. No Vans? No. Still Jordans. All right, still Jordan, Kobe's and LeBron's. Man, I had my Jordans. I used to show up to the office. I wish I would have had a picture. Y'all, I look like a straight up thug. I ain't lying. I had a ball cap. I had Timberlands. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, anybody had Timberlands? They was not warm in the wintertime, but they sure did look good on my feet. Thank God for Uggs. Thank God they came out with Uggs. But that was just horrible money habits. So what happens is that when we build on stuff like that, so when we build on things like that, it makes it bad. So a part of my habit was, going to the Louis Vuitton store. How many go to the Louis store? Come on. Y'all don't be looking at the Louis. How many want some Louis? Okay. Now we got some honest online. I need y'all to type in online right now. If you a Louis person, go ahead and put the LV in there. You like it, it's all good. It's okay, because if you're not honest with me, you're not going to be honest with yourself. You're not going to be honest with where we're going to go today. Be honest. How many want some LV in their life? That's okay. Oh, yeah, and I love me some Gucci, Pastor. Come on, sir. I see that Gucci all day long. Man, he been dressed in style for a long time, so don't ever say that the pastor get money from the church. He been like this for a long time, okay? So if you pull up in a Porsche one Sunday, don't get mad. He ain't take your money. He been doing this for a long time. He true to this. All right, bad habits. Gucci. How many Burberry? You got any Burberry people up in the building? Okay, all right, yes. See, these are our money habits that we have. And what happens is that when we have these type of money habits, they create bad for our environment. So guess what happens? We have this thing called curse. Because now you're spending your time buying into these brands. Another thing that we do, we don't care if the bills are due. We are spending the money on the things that we want. Because we see everyone else in the community got it. All of us wasn't raised in a 7-figure household. All of us wasn't able, okay? And so what happens is that we start building on all this called curses. And guess what happens? It's the foundation. So that's our foundation. We've been building on the wrong thinking, the discipline, not disciplining ourselves. So we keep building, and guess what happens? It keeps growing. So that's why you never have nothing. Guess what you're going to teach your kids? The same thing, never to have anything. And if the government don't save me, I'm mad at everybody. It's going down. I can't believe I can't get married because I need to get this welfare. I need to get the food stamps. I need to get EBT, whatever. I don't care. That's what you do. Come on, somebody. And guess what? We be passing this down like this is the truth. Don't we? Like, girl, what you need to do, go to Burberry. You going to catch you a good man. The devil is a lie. I'm looking for a Ruth, okay? I'm the Boaz. I'm looking for the Ruth that's been doing the work already. But if your foundation is set on bad money habits, guess what you produce? Curses upon curses. And that's why your generation can't be blessed. That's why they can't own a home, because of your bad habits. And you have the power to stop the curse. You have the power to break the curse, right? Education, me and Rob were just talking about that. Man, he said it's poison. The poisonous of our system of not knowing what the right education is. And then we get mad and say, you ignorant. You stupid, man. You stupid. But literally, you really are. Literally. Don't you call me stupid. I'm look what I got on. I'm Gucci. Listen, you stupid, man. Okay? Your foundation is built on bad money habits. And you have no discipline outside of making sure the self-grandizement of yourself is fulfilled. So you have curses, then you have a foundation. This is the baby number 1, baby number 2, baby number 3. And you can't pass it on. That's what happens. So, what do you have to do today? We have to start taking your foundation and rebuilding it. All right, Burberry, you got to go, okay? Burberry, you got to go, okay? Gucci, all right, you got to go. I can't be sitting around in the mall all day shopping, buying, unless you go to Ross. I mean, Ross got some good deals, you know what I'm saying? Ross can do you right, okay? All right? But we got to get rid of Gucci. Oh my goodness, we got to get away Louis, okay? Get rid of the Rolexes. You got to get rid of this stuff because it was set on a bad foundation of money habits, all right? Are y'all with me? Online, are you with me? Make sure you make some noise online. If I get a heart or something, let me know. All right, so that's what's happening. So we have to get rid of this foundation. So let me ask you guys something. So what do you think would be a good money habit? What do you think? What do you think? Just yell it out in the air. Savings. Okay, all right. So investments. Bless. You see what I'm saying? What's another good one that we can say? We put away money in the savings. We take time. What else can we do with better money habits? What can we do? Investing. Bless. Okay. Buy property. Bless. Because as long as you build in the foundation, you get more and more blessings. You can't get blessings unless you have a solid foundation of money management. He gave you all the scriptures on money management. I got to give you another one. But if you need me to, I can give you one good scripture. The plans, this is Proverbs 21 and 5. Proverbs 21 and 5. I changed it a little bit, but y'all can go check it out. See, I changed it a little bit so that way you guys can research. I just changed it a little bit. Now you're going to be mad because now you got to go look and see what I changed. It's okay. Pastor, I'm good. He ain't come back to my church. But it says the plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. Buying all Gucci, Louis, all that stuff, that makes you broke. So poverty is your only reward because you're wearing everything you should have been saving. Consistency. At the foundation, your money habits got to be consistent, and it must lay the foundation for a discipline. And it must remain the same. No matter how much you want to go buy Louis, think about your new house. Think about your land. Every time you buy, that is a mortgage payment that could be going somewhere else. Pastor, give me your belt so I can pay my mortgage bill. You feel me? That's how it needs to work, because I got this stuff on, but if I can't pay my own bills, then I'm messed up already. You messed up here. You're broke in your mind. Then you come to the church and say, can I get a loan? And the bottom line is that pastor's going to sit down and say, okay, what's your financial plan? What's your strategy? You don't even got a strategy, but you want a loan. You know how people say, oh, can I borrow some money, mom, dad? Can I borrow some money? When you going to pay me back? Next week. If you don't got it this week, you ain't going to have it next week. So I might as well give you what I can give you and leave it alone. That brings me to my next point. Stop letting people borrow money from you. Give them some of this knowledge. Refer them over to this stream. This is going to help them more than you giving them some money. It's going to hurt them. I need this money for my utility bill. It's going to hurt you right now, but you're going to think about this later. True story, my dad died when I was 14 years old, and it was 6 of us. My mom, my dad took care of the family when he was alive. He worked at General Motors. My mom was an at-home mom. And at the time, let's be real about this, and I'm just going to say this, women did not have rights, okay? Women just got their rights about 50 years ago. The reason why we can piggyback on credit was because there was a woman movement that happened and say, my husband take care of everything. I need some credit myself. So they made laws on behalf of the woman, which was called piggybacking off of someone's credit, so that way they can have something too, because they only will allow the man to work. This is why we have piggybacks off credit and your credit score will go up, because it was the woman who needed the help because the man was the only person allowed to work. The man was the secretary. The man was the administrator. The man. And what happened is that because women didn't have it, we trained all the women in the world to depend on a man. And so what ended up happening was you have the modern day woman who depends on a man. I want my man to take care of. That is an old slavery mentality. You don't need to do that. That has to do with of old. That has nothing to do of what's right now. But we continue to perpetuate this bad narrative. That's what happened. That's the truth, y'all. So when a woman says, oh, I want a man that's going to work and take care of me and him, why? The playing field has been leveled a little better. Not saying that women often make the same as a man, but I will say this, that nowadays women are leading the workforce. Nowadays, there's more women with degrees than men are. Right now, women have more businesses than men do, but we still see men in high places. But guess what? It's been 50 years. And we're still working on it. It's just like a black person who has not been able to have what they can have because of discrimination. Women went through the same discrimination over time. But guess what? If she wants to have something, she can. And yeah, we want you to be strong with your man and everything like that. But the truth of the matter is, get rid of I need a man in order for me to have my own financial stuff. Get rid of that mentality because you don't need it. And if there is something that you feel you need, you should advocate for it. You should run for office. Close the gap. I'm just trying to help women understand that sometimes you come from a bad thinking of what was yesterday. It's not the same as it is today. You have the ability to grow and start your own business. You have the ability to get your own education. You have the ability to do all that stuff. Now, I'm not going to lie and say generation that's older than 55, 60 years old. I'm not saying that that's going to always be, they may not be ready to get out like, I'm about to go hit the dusty tread. I'm about to go do this. That may not be possible. That's almost impractical. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about the modern day young women that's coming up. You don't have to have that thinking because the thing is that your parents is passing that down because that was their reality. That is not your reality. You don't have to have bad money habits. You can get disciplined, be consistent, and you can have more. This is the foundation, retraining the foundation because the knowledge of the gap that's in between needs to be closed. So you don't always need, I mean, it's great. We could talk about relationships later. Talk about how to find a good dude and how to find a good chick, that you can hang out with. You know what I'm saying? But, we have to retrain our minds. So let's talk about something else. Are y'all enjoying this? Okay, just if I put you to sleep, just say, I need a minute. I need a break or something, all right? So we're building on this habits. Now, when you have it, now everybody in the room always say, I want to be rich. I want to have money. Is that everyone's goal to have a little bit more than what you have right now? Wealth and like, oh man, I'm going to give you $1 million. We about to go do this. Let's go start a chicken business or whatever. And we about to make some money, right? Is that what we do? And so when we start making the money, God says give 10% back to the church and things like that. And Pastor said earlier, hey, they you got $100. You don't want to give your 10. You have 10 oranges. You're supposed to give one, but you're keeping that one for yourself and everything else. And so God teaches you that, God says, I can't trust you with this. Because the reason why God can't trust you with it, it's really simple. And this may not really have anything to do with God. It just has something to do with you. You just don't have the discipline to do it. That's why we always be praying for grace. And that's why he has to have grace, because you just don't have the discipline to do it. And you need to stop lying to yourself saying you want something that you're not going to take care of yourself. You're not going to have the discipline to do it. Stop asking for something that you don't have the discipline to do. Just like I spent all that money by the end of the year on Gucci, Louis, hats, all that stuff. That was horrible. The worst business decision I ever made in my life. So habits. Discipline. If you're going to ask for increase, expect there's some things that's going to come along with increase. What's one of the things that comes along when you have more money? What else? Boom. Yes. Oh, my God. I got a brick for how did that brick get in this bucket? It must be taxes. I want money. But you're going to pay them taxes too. Lord, give me $1 million. So Pastor already told you, okay, all right. So here go 10 oranges. All right, I'm going to trust you. All right, give one orange every Sunday. I'm going to provide you with 10. Give one orange every single Sunday, okay? I'm going to trust you, and I'm never going to check the amount of oranges because I trust you. So you come once, boom, 1 orange. Yeah, boom, another one. I'm doing good. Boom, a half an orange. Because I got hungry along the way, and it wasn't enough because I had to feed my family. I had to pay my utility bills. After some stuff came up in my life, and I couldn't do it. My car broke down. The orange tree fell over, and this is all the money I got for the rest of the pandemic. So I'm going to come with a half orange but I still trust you to give me more. So every week, you're less and less and less. But God is giving you more and more and more. But you come in less and less and less because the requirement was only 1 orange, 10 oranges, 1 orange on the way back. All right, let me see what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to plant some more oranges, and all of a sudden I got 15 oranges, but the pastor only said 1 orange. You know how much. The pastor ain't coming auditing and stuff like that, but he's trying to figure out, God is trying to figure out, can I trust you? And that's what it comes down to, because you can lie to me, I don't care. But it comes down to trust. Can I trust you? Can you trust yourself? Stop lying to yourself, okay? So taxes. Mark 12:17, taxes. Render unto Caesar was due to God, and render unto God was due to Caesar. You guys know the scripture, right? Render unto Caesar was due to Caesar, render unto God was due to God. Okay? You know the scripture, right? So, if you're supposed to tithe 10%, you're supposed to give Uncle Sam 15%. Now you at 25%. And you're trying to figure out, like, man, this ain't right, man. This ain't right. But you keep trusting, and you keep sowing, you keep being consistent. Remember, diligent. I'm diligent. I'm staying at it. I'm keeping it going. But every time you got taxes coming up. So now you got to deal with taxes. So now you got God's law and you got man's law. Both. Oh my God. So let's talk about taxes. Taxes is the worst thing ever for people. And they hate when they get an IRS letter. How many have ever got an IRS letter in your life? See? And don't it just drop your stomach? Like, that's the only thing you can get that can mess your whole day up. Okay? You could have been hit by a car. You could be almost in a coma. But let an IRS letter show up to the side of your bed. That will make you feel the word, Lord is going to take me now. He got me now. That's what happens. My stomach still gets messed up when it's when an IRS letter comes through. They still do. So it's important. Take some more treble out this mic. Can you take treble off the mic? Thank you. Because it hisses when I talk, and I don't want to blow your eardrums out. So yes, that's perfect. That's perfect. Did you do it? No, I don't think you did. Did you bring this down? Okay, perfect. Yep, I want to be right there because I talk loud already. Perfect. Can y'all still hear me okay? Okay, good. All right, perfect. So leave me right there. So now what happens is with your taxes, Uncle Sam says, I want a little bit of your money. And what happens is that when you get audited, what that is basically saying, I just want to validate what you put on your return is true. That's all they want to do. If you put something on there that's not true, or you don't have it, or a fire or something happens, what happens is that they come and say you owe us money because you put this on there, and even though you don't have it, we are holding you accountable to what you signed. Because really, when you sign the document, it says under perjury and penalty, this is accurate. So if you lose something, then that's on you. That's not on them. And so in 3 years, they can come back and say, what up? What's going on? How you doing? You forgot this or this, or you're trying to get your taxes done really fast. You forget something, you leave income off. But you have to make sure you pay Uncle Sam what? His taxes. This tax season, a lot of you guys got some of that pandemic money. I'll just give you a tip. Well, maybe. So I'm going to give you guys some tips. So number one, if you receive the PPP money and you used it for qualified expenses for your business, you don't got to pay it back. You don't have to pay it back. So if you got a PPP loan, you out there in the world, and you're listening to me, You don't have to pay it back as long as you use it for qualified expenses. That means some of you guys that got 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 ain't gonna have to pay none of that back. Forgiveness. Let's get your forgiveness. What'd you say? You only got to itemize it to the lender that gave it to you, and that's it. The only catch-22 about it is that just make sure you save your receipts. That's it. You can use it for payroll. You can use it for rent. You can use it for equipment. Whatever you use it for, you can use it for that, and then just put it to the side. That's it. That's all you got to do. Some of us are out applying. You're not getting because the first time that they let it out, it was like almost going off your Social Security number. And because you know your credit wasn't that great, you got denied. Or you didn't have your paperwork in place. You didn't have a good accountant next to you, hanging out with you, chilling with you. You know, you didn't have the good conversations. So you don't have to pay that back unless you have the paperwork that qualifies within the expenses that they told you could do. That's a good thing because right now, Maricopa County, you can go to Arizona Community Foundation right now, and if you have a business and you have your statements from 2019 versus 2020, you can get up to $25,000 right now. This is a PR service announcements. I'm sorry. I hope you guys don't get too distracted from that, but that's important for you guys to know. If you have problems with your utility bills and you're facing eviction, or if you have a home and you need some more help, the government is there to help you. Okay? We have in Chandler, we gave out every city in the nation got this money called ARPA money. It's called ARPA. Okay, American Rescue Plan Act. All the cities got all that money. All around. Phoenix got a lot of money too. They got a lot of money, and they use it for evictions. It's used for utility bills. It's used for even some of the money was set aside for businesses as well. And if you apply for it, you can get it. All you got to do is have the paperwork. You don't even need a lot. And check this out. You only need a profit and loss statement for the businesses. So if you have 2019 and you can create your profit and loss statement for 2019 all the way through the year, and the following year, you can compare it. And if there's up to a threshold of 25,000 loss, then you can get that money too. And it's great. And you don't even got to pay it back. All you got to do is have the paperwork in place. So the way you do that is go to ArizonaCommunityFoundation.org, azfoundation.org. Just do that. Type it in. Google it. And you can do that, okay? Okay, getting back to the topic, taxes. Now, see, y'all already like, I need some money. But also this last thing too, sole proprietors. You use your Social Security number. You know, you got that barbecue pit in the back, and you cooking because you got food in your groceries, and you're cooking it, and you've been doing this for a while. Also, sole proprietors also qualify as well. All you have to do is prove that you've been doing that business for 2 years and the difference they can give you. So some of you guys been doing daycare in the house and things like that. As long as you have documentation that can prove that you were a legitimate business, and you got to have, as long as you have the proper documentation registered, you'll be good to go. You good to go. That's it. So y'all, that's a nugget. That's $25,000. That was probably worth y'all paying me at least $1,500, $2,000 today, right? But taxes. As you make more money, you got to put more money in, and you don't have to pay taxes on that money. You don't have to pay taxes on that money that I just told you about, okay? Because what you do is you don't have to claim that because of the fact of what it is. As long as you keep it to the side and have all your receipts together, you don't have to get it. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. So taxes, as you make more money, you're going to have to pay more taxes. That's just what it is. Then the next thing happens is this. When you get all that money, you discipline, you got taxes. What happens is that we don't pay our taxes. So guess what happens after we don't pay our taxes? We get the letter from the IRS. Boom, your stomach drops. Then you, in the middle of the audit, you don't have your paperwork because you know your house flooded. Baby got, you moved 5 times. The movers did something. Boom. And so now you in tax hole, you're in tax liability. You're trying to figure out, how do I climb out of that? Because you don't have the proof anymore. Because you didn't take care, you wasn't at the foundation of what you was doing. You didn't have a good money habit. You wasn't disciplined. Then after that, they're putting liens and everything else on your house. Levies, yeah, all, see. I ain't gonna say somebody been through it, but they understand what I'm talking about. But that's all curses. But what happens if you do it right? You tear down the foundation, and then all of a sudden, when they come and audit you with the letter, and you are able to have your expenses, guess what comes? Blessings. Why? Because they're not going to audit you anymore. You done. Okay? The next thing that happens, you're able to move on with your life. It's a blessing. Like, IRS tried it, but they didn't get very far, and they stopped bothering you. This is the thing. When you get audited and you don't prove every single receipt that's on there, they keep a red flag on your account. So every time you apply 2-3 years later, they send you another letter because of the fact that you didn't take care of business. You didn't prove everything. And that's what ends up happening. And then also this is important. Your bank statements, everybody, they used to allow you to use that in audits. Now they want physical receipts. So they're changing up the game. But when you have it, it comes blessings. And then you can build on the foundation. You can tell your kids, like, pay your taxes. The one thing my wife always used to say is, my mama always taught me to pay my taxes. That's the only thing she said, pay the taxes. And you can make payment arrangements for that. Let me get one because I am almost out of time. But this is the one thing I want to leave with you guys. Credit. You guys, come on now. And I always say, was credit put here to be a curse to black people? Because we didn't even know about that thing. When it came out in the 70s, we was not aware that was even happening. We're barely knowing about it now. We're still trying to learn how to do better. Why do I got to have this or credit? Why this? And why do I got to pay this on time? And what is credit? It's paying. My mom used to always say, bless her heart, Mom, I love you, but I'm going to say this because I think they need to hear this example. I said, Mom, what is credit? She said, pay your utility bills on time. I love you, Mom, but that's what you told me, okay? You know, she's telling me a different story today. But when I was younger, she was like, pay your utility bills on time. And then I understood. I said, well, why is that? That's not credit. Because back in the day, that's all you really need to prove to get a house. Show that you could pay your bills for 2 years, and that was a way that we were able to prove if you were paying your bills on time. Show your utility bills. In fact, FHA used to say, show your utility bills, we'll get you approved for a house. 2 years of paying your utilities bills on time will get you a house. Anybody remember grabbing, it was, I can't remember exactly what the program was basically, grab the dirt and we'll build you a house. Or it was something. It was a program that they had back in the day. If you drive far out in the corners of the earth in the United States, if you find that dirt and you want to build on it, the government will give you a loan to build on it. Oh, I remember now. It's called USDA. Rural Loan Mortgages. You don't have to put no money down. You don't have to do anything. All you got to do is go somewhere in a rural area and say, I'm going to build. You don't got to put no money down. Your credit score can be about a 640 right now. And you don't got to do nothing else. And they'll give you a lot of money to build on that dirt because they want to expand out. So that's the tip. So credit. Fico score. You got to pay your credit cards on time. Okay? And don't max them out past. They used to say 30%. I promise you, that is not true anymore today. They used to say, don't spend, if you have a $100 balance, don't spend greater than $30. You know, that's 30%. I promise you, you want to keep it below 15%. That's the new standard. And if you want an 800 credit score, keep your utilization 1 to 3%. That's just what it is. And if you have a family member that your spouse or something, you got a good credit card, pay it on time, even if it gets kind of high, just keep paying it on time, the minimum payment, even if it's high and it's jacking up your score, I'm just letting you know that, but keep paying it. Because when you get the money, you're able to pay it down to zero. Then you can use your kids. You can set your kids up to piggyback on your credit so that way when they turn 18, they can get ready to get a house. So that's what I'm doing with my daughter. She's 18 years old. She's been working since 16. That's 2 years of income. When she turned 18, she got a 750 credit score. She's ready to buy because she got 2 years of restaurant experience. So it may not get her that much house. I don't care. I just want you to buy something. We got to get our kids prepared. I'm putting you on my credit card. Don't spend over this amount. I'm setting something up. If you don't understand, just pay it on time. And that's it. So then we're working on her credit because she needs that credit. Then when she pays her bills on time, they have this thing called Fico Scores. When you pay on time, it increases your Fico score. When you don't pay on time, it decreases your Fico score. And so what happens is that you end up having a credit. Everyone gets a credit report. You got to look at it. You got to check it. Annualcreditreport.com or myfico.com. If you're trying to buy a mortgage, use myfico.com. That will get you your mortgage scores. The mortgage scores are 28 different scores, but the ones that they use for the mortgage is 5, 4, and 2 scores, okay? Am I out of time? Okay. 5, 4, and 2. Those are the mortgage scores. Don't get caught up in the trap where you look at your credit and say, I got like a 700 credit score, I should get a house. No, that might be like a consumer score. That consumer score is different from your mortgage score. Your mortgage score is on a different old algorithm. So you need myfico.com. When you pull that credit, then you go down to where it says mortgage. Then that tells you what your score is really are for a house. And if you're trying to get a house, if you're FHA, you got to have a 620 credit score. Technically, my bad, you only really need a 500 credit score to get an FHA loan. But what they have out there, they call them overlays. And these overlays is what the bank says, no, we're not going to approve you unless you have a 620. But the real FHA loan says, no, you only really need a 500 to 580 score. But what happens is there's like over 100 some mortgage programs out there in the world, in the nation right now, over 100. So if you meet one lender and they say no, there may be another one. Your score is 580. They may be saying no, but they have this thing called overlays. And when they put the overlays on there, they say it's a 620 credit score that you got to have, or you got to have a 640, and that's just not true. In fact, they say you got to put 3.5% down on the FHA, and really you only have to put 3% down. These are overlays. Maricopa County has right now set up, if you want to get a mortgage, they'll give you up to $20,000. In fact, they'll give you up to 5% down for your home. So if you're worried about not having a down payment, there's programs out there that will help you get the score that you need, that will help you with your down payment. So technically, you don't got to put nothing down. So, but these banks, when they have the overlays, what happens is it pushes you in debt and it stops you from growing because you say, I don't got that score. Well, that's their requirement, but somebody else may be requiring it. So I'm going to say this to you guys, for all the entrepreneurs, go to changefi.com, 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 F-I, changefi.com. Go there. Okay, so what they're doing, I'm going to end it because I know I'm long. But what they're doing now for entrepreneurs and business owners and people who don't have regular W-2 income, what they're doing now is saying, okay, we're going to pull your credit. If it's 650 and you have the mortgage payments in your bank account for 18 months, we're going to get you approved for a mortgage. And that's for all the self-employed people. You got daycare, home business, whatever you're trying to get approved for, as long as you have 18 months of your mortgage payments put into a savings account, they will give you a loan. It's called changefi.com. It's changed the world. It's the only mortgage company in the nation right now that's doing that. And that's a game changer for entrepreneurs and people who've been trying to get a house but can't get a house because they can't prove the income. That's a big game changer for them. So do that, okay? That's how we get into move. So credit, when you do right, you get blessed. When you're doing right, you'll be able to get you a house. When you do right, you can transfer generational wealth, okay? All right. So as you build on this foundation that you have, what I want you to do is think about who does it impact when you are doing the right thing. This impact is everybody. This is generational wealth. This is getting rid of how mortgages used to be done back in the day. This is today. Do your homework for today. Stop getting advice for yesterday when it's today is a totally different situation. You understand what I'm saying? So as we move and as you navigate through this management, financial management, redefining it, ask yourself, how disciplined are you really are going to be? You really want a home? Take your time, put away the money. You know you're going to need a down payment. I just gave you down payment assistance just now. I just told you a mortgage company that can help you right now. But all the overlays, remember, don't listen to the overlays if you don't have the highest credit score. Just find someone that's willing to do it, okay? You got a weird situation with your income, just do it. And if they only give you a little bit of amount to buy, buy. If you get approved to buy, just buy. Oh, I want this grand house. Everybody wants the grand house. Everybody wants the big house. Just get something small. Do what I did. Start on a little office and be proud of that thing. Take care of it. Clean it up. Be proud of it, okay? Then when you get blessed, Move on. One of my friends, she bought a condo, small, wasn't really all that. And I looked at it, I said, you know what? God has everything that he has you right where he wants you to be. And she was like, no, this can't be, man. This is like $175,000. It didn't look good. It was in the hood and things like that. I said, you make the hood better. You go in there and you rearrange it. She bought the house right before the pandemic. She sold the house for $225,000 more. And then when she moved up out of this space, she got her big house. And they said, how do you have so much money? Young girl, 26 years old, $225,000, put $100,000 on her next home, got the house of her dreams. Because sometimes you can suffer a little while through discipline and management and say, I can put up with not having this stuff for a couple of years. That's all you have to do is just suffer through it for a couple of years, and you'll be all right. And then you go and you get what you want, what's going to help you get you there. So I sacrificed. When me and my wife, we got a big old home, 7-bedroom home, too big. So guess what we're doing now? We're downsizing. We don't need no 7-bedroom home. Who we impressing? I don't even like people coming to my house anyways. My wife told me, she said, you don't have nobody coming over to this house. Yes, I do. Who? When? I just, when I was 18 years old, I got robbed. And so I'm now 41 years old, looking good, you know. But, thank you, Pastor, thank you. Confidence. Thank God I don't got low self-esteem in this church. I'll be jacked up. Word to the wisdom. If you got low self-esteem in this church, you're going to get jacked up, okay? You better have some confidence. I got one clap. Thank you. I know how you feel, Pastor. You going in, you're preaching already, you ain't getting one clap. Can I get a clap? Shoot, I know I'm preaching already. Give myself a pat on the back. But what I want you guys to do is just be able to suffer a little while. Just everyone just say suffer a little while. You'll be all right. You keeping up with the Joneses. I don't know who we trying to impress. You know, like every day is like a new person that we're trying to impress. You know, we're trying to live up to some type of weird standard. I just want to own. I just want to have more than what I have. So be cool with your finances. Be cool. You know, husbands, talk to your wives. Say what we're trying to do because you got to remind the person of your vision. I told my wife, we're working on right now. We're getting a house built from the ground up. We selling and we're getting a house built from the ground up. She's like, that ain't even as big as. No, babe, listen. I'm planning for 10 years down the road. I don't want to walk up no stairs 10 years down the road. See, you looking at the right now. I'm looking at the future. I'm not walking up no stairs. I'm done. I don't want to do the yard like I used to. Like it's a big old yard. It's a big old house. I got a whole office in there. It's crazy. You know, I'm going to say this and I'm going to sit down. When I had all that stuff and I went and I ran for office, and the most interesting thing happened to me was God showed me something. He said, I'm going to have you run and you're going to do this. So I told the Lord, I said, Lord, I was negotiating with him. I said, Lord, if I run, I'm not spending any of my money. Because this is the work that you want me to do. I'm not spending my money. I worked hard. I managed. You know, I sold my big practice. I do private accounting now. So 40,000 clients. It was one of the, I was the largest minority-owned accounting firm in the nation. And so I said, Lord, I'm not using my money because I've been faithful and I've been true. So what he had me do, he said, I want you to run for office. I said, Lord, okay. So I started running. So I did an opening campaign, blah, blah, blah. And I started to run, and people came, they gave money to me. And then the pandemic happened. And then I questioned God and said, Lord, do you really want me to still to run in the middle of a pandemic? And the Lord was like, no, I want you to still run. I said, there cannot be. I can't raise no money. So then the Lord sent somebody, and he said, he sent an angel, and he said, tell OD, because God can talk to other people to you, tell OD to keep raising money for his campaign. I had like $1,000 in my account. Everyone else had $70,000 in their account. He said, keep running. And so I did, and I said, okay, this don't make any sense, God. All right, I'm going to do what you tell me to do. I'm just trust you. So I kept running. And then once I ran, I kept going. Then they started tearing down my signs. I don't know if you guys seen that, but they started cutting my signs down the middle. It was like a lot of hate crime against me. I have the most police reports than any other person in the city of Chandler that I got in less than 6 months. Already 65 police reports was done on my campaign alone, and the Lord told me to keep running. So I had to suffer, but I had to keep running. I had to suffer, but I had to still remain disciplined. I had to suffer, and I had to still keep my eyes on the goal. And I had to suffer, and I suffered some more. So when I won, I said, okay, God, yes, thank you. No, towards the end of the getting close to the end of the campaign, I got COVID. I had got COVID. I was really sick. I was really desperately sick. The fire department came to the house. I was trying to catch my breath and everything like that. I was sick. My fever was really high. I got into the. I was trying to make my way from the chair to the floor to the tub. When the ambulance came, I was on the floor, stretched out. No one knew what to do. They gave me some oxygen, things like that. I was able to stay home. They gave me some nausea medicine, and I kind of waited out in the room 21 days in the middle of a campaign in July when you about to win. You're trying to win. August the 4th is your day. I'm in a house in the hospital. Not in the hospital. I get in the tub, take a shower. It hurt my body so bad. I lost my taste. I lost my smell. I had every single symptom of COVID that there was. I experienced every single thing. And so I said, Lord, you sure this is what you want me to do? I said, this doesn't make any sense. Well, 3 weeks later, the Lord told me to get up. I got better. I got stronger and things like that. It was still hard because my breath and my everything. But long story short, I ended up knocking on 10,000 doors. I ended up raising $10,000. The Lord ended up showing me a financial plan on how to win the election. When everyone else outraised me, they outraised me. Let's say that. They outraised me. They raised over 70,000. I raised 10,000. I had to match it. The Lord told me, I want you to knock on 10,000 doors. And then the Lord showed me, I said, Lord, how am I going to get my signs out? He said, there's 65 intersections in the city of Chandler. I never seen this before in my life. He said there's 65 intersections in the city of Chandler. I want you to put a sign on every single intersection. Okay. Lord, there is 100,000. He said there's 100,000 households in the city of Chandler. I want you to put out 1,000-yard signs. Just 1,000, not even 10%, 1%. He said, I want you to put out those 1,000-yard signs. We have 90% of our households in Chandler are HOAs. So the Lord showed me every HOA in every traditional home to put my sign in. When I won my election, the Republican Party had like a poll on me or whatever. And it was a blessing because they showed from the time that I announced my winning, I was in the lead all the way until I won, and I never knew the whole entire time. But I kept doing what God told me to do. So when you do it, it pays off. It's consistency. You don't know that that's happening. But when it happens, you just like, wow, I did not even know that it happened. And I didn't even have all the money. I had 2 fish, 5 loaves, and God took it. And that's why I love when you guys broke the whole scripture down. He distributed. He showed me the wisdom. And to this day, historically, they're still studying my win of how did he win past that. And a woman came up to me not long after that and said, you are my president. So when you do what you need to do, people see you further than where you're going. I just see myself as the councilman. But what do you see yourself as today? What do you see yourself as tomorrow? All that takes discipline. Thank you for your time.
Amen. That was good. Amen. Man. So, like we saying, we redefining financial wealth. Amen. We redefining financial wealth. God has some things that's going on in the ministry, and for us, man, I'm just really excited. So go ahead and take another 5-10 minutes, and we're going to bring up our next guest, Mr. Dejon Johnson. Amen. Take 5-10 minutes. We'll be back on. Amen.